Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400, and of course the brown skinned human coming back at you with another video. And this time, this is a brand new type of video I've been wanting to do for a long time now, but I was too lazy to make a list and couldn't decide what intro and outro song to use. But as you can see by the title above, this is my Doug's favorite rappers list. This is the webcam portion. I did the long audio portion first, but this is the webcam portion. This video will talk about my all-time favorite and best rappers. And by the way, this list will be controversial. You'll see some names, controversial names in this list mixed with a lot of legends. And by the way, this is my favorite and best rappers list. So this is my favorite rappers who are my favorites and I consider the best on on this list. Much later there will be a best rappers list where I will have the rappers who are widely considered, regardless of my opinion, widely considered the greatest of all time. But this is my favorite best rappers list. This is favorite and best rappers of all time, which means this is living, dead, retired, active, still active, inactive. It doesn't matter. These are Doug's favorite and best rappers, and they reign and they come from all generations: 90s, 80s, 2000s, 2010s, and even one from the 70s. So, um, and this is also the very first video in a brand new video series I'm gonna be doing. The group will be in my playlist, a brand new playlist, and Doug's Doug's rock and roll hip hop videos. So you will see various videos, reviews, rants on hip hop and rock and roll and various music albums. So with that being said, let's hit my music and get started right now. This is my world. Hey everybody, it's time for part two of Doug's favorite and best rappers of all time. Listen, as you can see by the picture above, the first rap the first rapper or rappers on this list are the Beastie Boys, Ad Rock, MCA, and Mike D. Mike D. I think these guys not only were the very first white rappers and not only were the very first white rappers, but they're some of the best and most creative rappers of all time. They initially started as a rock and roll group, but then they cut one single called Cookie Puss, and from then on they replaced their drummer and became a hip hop group. They're the most exciting and entertaining and creative rap group. Each music video they did was something. Music video and song they did was something different. I also love their mixture of rock and roll and hip hop, punk rock, and hip hop, and they were one of the greatest bands of all time. Sadly to say, all of this came to an end in 2012 when Adam Yauch, MCA, frontman of the group, when he died in 2014, um, Mike D and Ad Rock had announced that Beastie Boys were forever disbanded after his untimely passing. Then in 2016, the original frontman of the group, who who split from the Beastie Boys when they became popular, John Barry, he died in a car accident, I think. In a car accident, I think. And yeah, sucks because just like Ice, just like MC Hammer, these guys were sort of in they were sort of in the wrong era. They were sort of in the wrong era. They would have been even more popular and the greatest rappers alive today if they were still playing today. But yeah, these guys are some of the greatest rappers ever with awesome songs like "Fight for Your Right to Party," "No Stop Till Brooklyn," "Intergalactic," their single "Cookie Puss," and "Bring the Noise," a decade later sequel to "Fight for Your Right to Party." Fight for Your Right to Party. So yeah, one of the greatest rappers ever. They do that. Most rock stars do not like this, but I do. But I do. Rock when you combine rock and roll with hip hop and various other musical genres, and they did that here with their cool rockin', rapping lyrics, man. Lyrics can't even keep up with them. Can't even keep up with them. Extremely fast. They can also do that fast pace rock and roll rap style. Rap style. So Beastie Boys, the very, very first white rappers and one of the most influential, some of the most influential and most creative rappers of all time. And that's why they're number one on this list, man. Number one on this list. Number two, you knew this guy right here was at some point gonna be featured on this list, and that is the late great Tupac Amaru Shakur and his group Outlaw Immortals, aka Dramacidal, the original title before settling for Outlaw Immortals. Tupac Shakur, while not, in my opinion, not being the greatest rapper of all time, which he is often hailed as, he is one of the best rappers of all time, and he was and still is to this day one of the most exciting rappers of all time. The stage performance, the energy, the electricity, the music videos, and just the sheer entertainment and fun value, nothing compares to Tupac Shakur. There are only about four there are only about 4 to 5 rappers that come close to the awesomeness, in my opinion, and the entertainment and electricity of a Tupac Shakur. And I'm gonna get to them later in this list, but yeah, nothing. And then from my favorite era of Tupac Shakur, 95, 96, 94, his last years on this earth, he was the best rapper of all time. Death Row, Outlaw Immortals, Dre, Snoop Dogg, they were the best group in hip hop. They were, as Suge Knight said when he bailed Tupac Shakur out of prison, they were the Motown of the 90s. And it sucks. All of that came to an end. All of that came to an end with Tupac Shakur's death. Tupac Shakur's death. Not only was Tupac awesome, the people he collaborated with throughout his career and lifetime were awesome. My favorite group was the Outlaw Immortals Dramacidal. You got the late great Yaki Kafedi, who suddenly died 2 months after Tupac Shakur in November of '96. You got Hussein Fatal, who sadly say passed away in a car crash in 2015. Then you got Big Skyke, who died in 2018 of natural causes. Then you got Napoleon, one of the last outlaws alive. He is now a Muslim. Then you got my boy Edie Amin. Edie Amin, the last of the outlaws, the last of the chosen few, as he quoted his awesome song 96 for the Tupac All Eyes on Me by Poet film, which played in the final scene where Shakur and where Demetrius Shipp and the actor portraying Suge Knight were in the car before they turned on the gospel music and before Tupac Shakur was shot. the shot this song was playing and the song was awesome. So yeah, Edie Amin, the last of the chosen few, the last of the outlaws, man, the last of an era. And that '96 song he recorded was awesome, man. So yeah, man, yeah, Outlaws were some of my favorite members Tupac collaborated with besides Dre and Snoop Dogg. I also liked his early career before he blew up and became Tupac when he was the background dancer roadie for Digital Underground. Shock G, the leader of Underground. It all started with that song, same song. Where at the end of the song, after Shock Shock B and Craig, I keep forgetting his last name, but after they said their verses, it all started with this one line. Shock G said, after he got done, Tupac, go ahead and rock this. Then Tupac started freestyling and spitting his verse. And from there on there, a legend and the start of something great was born. Early 90s, Tupac Shakur was entertaining, but that Tupac Shakur was dated and cheesy, in my opinion, by today's standards. The only thing I didn't like about Shakur was his early his early days, the phoniness, and the phoniness and walking contradiction. Shakur in his early days, before he went to jail, he he tried to be this lyrical street poet and activist. That's good and all, but he was using symbolism like and outlaw. Thug and outlaw. You're trying to start a positive movement for brown people and you're using negative symbolism like thug and outlaw. This is one of the main reasons he's number two. One of the main reasons he's number two. And some of his earlier albums like Tupacalypse Now and Strictly for My Niggas, they're fairly entertaining, but they wouldn't sell flies today. I don't think they sold much back then. It wasn't until All Eyes on Me where he started to become popular and really started, which his early albums are plagued by technology issues, and yeah, my favorites are Me Against the World, which focuses on his struggles against the police and incarceration. Um, um, All Eyes on Me, the greatest achievement in all of rap music. There is not a dull moment on that track from beginning to end. So many awesome songs ranging from Gangsta Party, which is his best lyrical work. How Do You Want It? One of the greatest songs ever. Ambitions as a writer. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. What else? Um, the the explicit and violent diss track hit 'em up. Hit 'em up on the Me Against the World's track. The Me Against the World single, If My Homies Call, which isn't that good, but the music video for it is awesome. It fits the Me Against the World single better. Then Shed No Tears, and of course the ever popular and dramatic Dear Mama. Then Don Columinati, the 7 Day period where he has Hail Mary, and To Live and Die in LA. Then the first album released after he had died, Are You Still Down, which has Open Fire. On Tupacalypse Now, he has Trapped and Brenda's Got a Baby. And on Strictly for My Niggas, he has Holla If You Hear Me, Keep Your Head Up, and of course, I Get Around. I Get Around. So yeah, Tupac Shakur. So many awesome and entertaining songs. Like I said, one of the most exciting rappers ever. Not the best rappers. I think several rappers kill him, would kill him lyrically, but he's one of the most entertaining rappers alive, and that's why he's number two on this list. And I loved him from 95 and 96, where, like I said, I like gimmicky, fly, and street-based rappers, and he's on all of those categories where he had the cool genie, um, Genie Aladdin mobster look with the tight leather tank top, and the baggy pants. baggy pants, followed by his other look, which consists of the tight white t-shirt, sometimes shirtless, and the baggy white pants with black or burgundy looking Timberland boots. Boots. I also like to call it the genie Aladdin gear because that's what he looked like. He looked like something out of Aladdin, Streets of Rage, uh, Bruce Lee Hollywood martial arts film, a bad guy in Bruce Lee's Hollywood martial arts film, uh, um, a gangster and action hero of his own film. That's what Shakur looked like. Yeah, Tupac Shakur, one of the greatest and most exciting rappers alive. Even years later, when they did the hologram, they got his movements, look, voice, and everything right. It was like he never left, man. It was like he never left. But yeah, Tupac Shakur, one of the greatest and most entertaining rappers alive. Then the accomplishments is another reason why he's number two on this list. The accomplishments in such a short time. This guy has had seven movies, two television show appearances, and five albums completed at the time of his death. Five albums completed at the time of his death. Already already out. He did so much in so little time, man. Tupac Shakur, like I said, one of the greatest rappers of all time. Number number three on this list. Number three on this list, as you can see by the picture above, number three is my man, the Iceman, Vanilla Ice, widely considered, widely considered to be one of the worst and most embarrassing rappers of all time. But you know what? For me, for my list, he is one of the greatest. He is one of the greatest and most underrated rappers of all time. And let me tell you why I chose him as number three. Vanilla Ice was initially going to be on my worst rappers list of all time. Yes, when I did my worst rappers list, I said in that list, I'm not doing nostalgia. I'm not doing nostalgia. You can't be a cheesy dated rap act from the past and be terrible and get the pass and get the pass from my list because you were in the 90s, my favorite decade. No, even rappers from the past get criticized. When I looked up Vanilla Ice, when I listened to all of Vanilla Ice's albums after To the Extreme, which all got mixed to negative receptions, um this Vanilla Ice, he was better than I thought he was. He's an even better rapper than I thought he was. Just like with MC Hammer, who's next, by the way. MC Hammer, um, his other singles are way better than his popular single, and that was Ice Ice Baby. There is not a dull moment on any of Vanilla Ice's albums or track. Even the great Tupac Shakur has dull moments and songs I just don't care for. Weak songs on awesome soundtracks. But Vanilla Ice, there isn't a dull song so many styles and changes over the years, and to this day he is still going strong. Recently, cutting a um a remix of his Ice Ice Baby song with a rapper, I think his name Forgiato Blow, and of course Rick Ross. And of course, Rick Ross this was recorded in 2017, but released this year. So yeah, guys, still going strong today. And just like with Beastie Boys, wrong era. Wrong era. He should have been in today's era. He would have been the best and top rapper in the game. Top rapper in the game. And like I said earlier, I like gimmicky, fly, street, and flamboyant. based rappers and musicians. And Vanilla Ice was both of those. One of the coolest and sickest dancers. Sickest dancers. I said earlier, no one comes close to Tupac Shakur in his stage performances. Vanilla Ice was a really close second. Was really close second. Goes closest to the just overall sheer entertainment value. Killer dance moves, and awesome songs like he has the very popular Ice Ice Baby, Ninja Rap, which introduced me to Vanilla Ice. Um, Play that funky music, white boy, Ice Cold, Ice Cold. He cut a lot of awesome music on the Coolest Ice movie soundtrack. Um, um, I get down, I get down, um, I get down. Um, and Roll 'em Up, one of the greatest drug induced songs. My Way, one of his most dramatic songs. Um, yeah, so many awesome songs, and of course, Hit 'em Hard, his diss track aimed at Marky Mark, Hammer, and third rap group Third Bass. So many awesome songs, so many awesome creative songs. Then later, when his teeny bopper days were over, he later evolved with the times like everyone else did and adopted a more street, grungy, punk rock look reminiscent of the Beastie Boys, prototypical Eminem, Everlast of House of Pain, Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, and Mike Patton of the rock group rock and roll rap group Faith No More. Faith No More, even experimenting with rock and roll new metal, doing a very cool um song called Too Cold, which was a rock and roll remix of his Ice Ice Baby song. He still maintains this look today with a mixture of 2010s swag. With a mixture of 2010s swag. So yeah, Vanilla Ice, one of the greatest rappers of all time. Like I said, I love the baggy jumpsuits he had in the early the baggy jumpsuits and Fonzie haircut he had in the 90s. Guys like something out of Streets of Rage, Hollywood, WrestleMania, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat, the fighting games of the 90s, and of course Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which he appeared in the sequel. He appeared in the sequel. That's what he looked like. That's what he looked like. Then he evolved and got more grungy and street later. So yeah, Vanilla Ice, one of the best and most exciting rappers of all time. Growing up, always wanted to be Shakur. I, however, was Vanilla Ice, Hammer, and many Beastie Boys and many more, trying to be badass like Tupac Shakur and Mike Tyson, Eminem, and DMX, some of the toughest fighters and rappers of all time. Five is Number four is like I said earlier. Number four was my man, the Hammer Man, MC Hammer Man, who, in my opinion, just like Vanilla Ice, one of the greatest rappers of all time, and just like Vanilla Ice, way better than I thought he was. He has a dishonorable mention spot on my worst rappers list of all time because while he's had a lot of great songs, he's had some stinkers and some stinkers. But just like with Ice, when I was doing my worst rappers list, he was gonna have a number on that list. That was until I looked up his albums, especially his first two albums before his 1990 album, which debuted his popular single "Can't Touch This." Can't touch this. Uh, um, Vanilla MC Hammer was once again a way better rapper than I thought he was. I always liked MC Hammer because he was just a killer dancer and just like Tupac Shakur, an awesome entertainer. One of the many rappers who comes close, sometimes even exceeds Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur when it comes to overall stage performance, electricity, energy, and everything. And just like Tupac Shakur, his performances were big and boastful because his life did depend on it. Because MC Hammer, another thing I didn't know about him, he grew up poor in poverty. He's from the streets, Oakland. One of the main reasons he's having financial difficulties nowadays, not only because of the royalties from, from the sampling of popular songs, but also doing one of the many things. rappers should be doing. He was so busy helping out. He was so busy lending money and helping out people in his hometown of Oakland that he didn't have a lot of money for him. They doesn't have a lot of money for himself now. For himself now. So yeah, MC Hammer, a folk, not only a rapping legend, a folk hero, and widely considered, just like Ice, to be one of the most embarrassing, embarrassing and worst rappers of all time. But like I said, just like Ice, he's way better than I thought he was. Not only can he do that rockin' rapping style, the Beastie Boys and Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice can do a lot of other rappers from the late 80s, early 90s time period can do, but he's way better with the first album, Feel My Power, then the second album after that, which was before his 1990 album, which debuted the single Can't Touch This. Then in 91, Too Legit to Quit, the album and the single, which I thought was way better than Can't Touch This. Just like Ice, his other singles are way better than his hits, are way better than his hits, are way better than his hits. And just like Ice, like I said, I love gimmicky, fly, and street-based rappers. Pretty much, Ice was pretty much the white version of him. The MC Hammer, the killer dance moves. He had even more killer and better. He had even more killer and better dance moves and stage performances. Stage performance, the footwork, the cool genie, Aladdin, kung fu attire. This guy was like something out of Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, WrestleMania, and Hollywood, and yeah. Then when his teeny bopper when his teeny bopper gimmick days, when that went sour, he ditched the pants. He ditched the pants and adopted a more street look, G Funk, where he was still going strong. His career pretty much lasted from 19 his mainstream career lasted from pretty much 1990 all the way to 1998. He was briefly being signed to Death Row, which I thought that was weird. I thought that was weird. Like, okay, a gimmicky rapper versus a bunch of street based rappers, but street based rappers, but he was holding his own with Big Daddy Kane, Danny Boy, and Tupac Shakur on the song, the unreleased Death Row song, Too Late. So yeah, I relate to him and appreciate him even more now than I did several years ago. He's an even better rapper than I thought he actually was. So yes, MC Hammer, so many awesome songs like Feel My Power, Ringing Them, Don't Stop, Too Legit to Quit, Pray, Have You Seen Her, Too Late Player, Too Late Player, Too Late Player, and um, that's another song. And so many more. Even his worst and cheesiest hit, which Bumpin' Pumpin' It, which has him in boots and dancing in boots and a G-string and cheesy baggy attire, while baggy gangster attire while trying to be hardcore, is still entertaining and hilariously bad today. And Can't Touch This, while being unoriginal and kind of cheesy by today's standard, is still exciting and one of the coolest rap songs and rap videos of all time. I feel invincible when I turn on that. It Can't Touch This, and the Too Legit to Quit song, which is almost a similar thing, was way cooler. With you have the entire music video with all of these celebrities talking about Hammer giving it up, then Hammer walking in a dance room and being given dance powers and moves by James Brown, and starts lighting it up again. Too Legit to Quit, Too Legit to Quit. Whenever I hear that awesome song, so yeah, MC Hammer, man, one of the greatest rappers of all time, man. Greatest rappers of all time. Number 5, Cash Money, Young Money Entertainment, Lil Wayne, Tyga, Drake, Gooda Gooda, and J Mills. These are my favorite from Cash Money, Young Money Entertainment. Let me tell you about these guys, especially Lil Wayne. I was always a closet fan of these guys because these guys are some of the most controversial and polarizing figures in hip hop. Each of these guys have their fans, their followings, mostly by people of the modern day generations, But Lil Wayne is hated. Lil Wayne and these guys are hated by hardcore hip hop fans. Hardcore for so-called killing hip hop. But in my opinion, these guys didn't kill hip hop. Rappers like, no offense, Waka Flocka Flame, OJ the Juice Man, Rich Homie Quan, Migos, and Young Thug. These guys killed hip hop with their mumble rap garbage, with their mumble rap garbage. These guys are some of the these guys are the best rappers today, are the best rappers in the game. The previous rappers I named are yesteryear, and in Shakur's case and Beastie Boys' case, their frontmen are now deceased. These guys are the greatest nowadays. Let's start off with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne. I was always a closet Lil Wayne fan. I secretly enjoyed his music, but I found his music. Fireman, Lollipop, the greatest song he's ever done. Lollipop, Lollipop, she will, his verse on Forever, his voice on Forever, and his voice on the very epic song Bedrock, which I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I always loved his music, but I always found his music to be embarrassing. His over the top, cheesy lyrics, but his stuff was catchy and entertaining, which is what hip hop is about, entertainment value. Then you go back to before Lil Wayne was even popular. I envision Lil Wayne as a much younger guy because of his behavior and what he was doing back then. But this guy's now like 37, been in the game since 1996. Been in the game since 1996 with The Block Is Hot, which was awesome. That was a much better era of Lil Wayne. He sounded much better now. He didn't have all this auto-tune and post-production BS. Man had much better lyrics. So he's an even better rapper than I thought he was. And is one of the most exciting and entertaining rappers. And while not being the rapper that the first four rappers were on this list was, he comes close to them when it comes to album sales, and sheer entertainment value and following. Like I said, he's one of the best today. But it was that Black Lives Matter interview where the people tried and failed to get him involved with their Black Lives Matter, black versus white war, and Lil Wayne said none of that has anything to do with me. That he tried to say there was no racism, but where Lil Wayne said there was no racism, because if racism was as bad as everyone, as the media tries to teach you, Lil Wayne would not be the most successful rapper in rap right now. Would not a black man like Lil Wayne, a brown man, would not be this damn successful and be the elite, one of the leading rappers in the game right now. That's where I earned. That's where I became a proud Lil Wayne fan. No more closet stuff. No more closet Lil Wayne stuff. Let's talk about his protege, Tyga. Love Tyga. This guy went from being a studio gangster, comedy relief, and Lil Wayne's protege to 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 having the biggest comeback of 2018 or 19 with the legendary song, and now is one of the top rappers and one of the best rappers in the game today. One of the best rappers in the game today. I always loved Tyga. He was funny. He was a funny, cool, charismatic rapper. Now I have even more respect for him. How he turned his career around and stepped up to become a legit MC and one of the best rappers ever. Like I said, having one of the biggest comebacks of 2018 or 19. I don't remember where the album Legendary was released, but it was awesome. Then killed Soulja Boy, who Soulja Boy dissed these guys with a song called Blueface, and he did his own freestyle on Instagram, killing Soulja Boy. Then Tyga, before his second blew up. I love Tyga's hilarious verse on the song Bedrock, where he or doing his verse, he rhymes every word in the dictionary that ends with N. She likes staying in. I like that ESPN. She under my skin, lotion. She like romancing. I like rolling with friends. She my skin, ESPN. But with the show offs, that was one of the funniest and most charismatic and creative deliveries ever. He rapped every word that rhymed with N, with romancing and lotion. Every word that ends with N. It was awesome. Then you got then 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 you got Drake. Drake. I've always been a huge fan of Drake since I was introduced to him. I think in 2012 or 13. He was one of the very first new era rappers. New era rappers I saw. See, even though I was understood that it was the 2010s, I still lived in the 2000s. I still thought garbage rappers like Soldier Boy were still popular. Were still popular. No, it's a whole new generation, and part of that new generation and that new era, this new era of hip hop, this was Drake, man. And Drake, I saw him. I saw Drake for the first time in a rant, in a rant, in a rant video, and the guy, yeah, okay, yeah, attitude wise, yeah, I didn't like him, but rapping and singing wise, as a rapper, singer, and performer, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's one of the best. He's one of the best today. The only thing I didn't like about Drake is his gimmick. He tries to be this street. He tries to be this American street gangster, gangster style kid, ripping off other people like Kanye West, Mace, Tupac Shakur, and many more. When he's Drake, the gimmicky fly guy from Canada, which is much better than being some street kid, which is much better than being some street kid. Drake's actual life. Don't know why these guys have to falsify their like their actual lives are better than these fictitious gangster street life stories. That's where I like Drake. When he's just this gimmicky fly guy from Canada, has awesome songs like the very first Drake song I heard, Headlines, which I like to call They Know, because he says it over again. They know, they know, they know. Headlines, Marvin's Rooms, um, Forever, where him and Eminem had the greatest verses ever, which this was a four-part song of him, Eminem, Lil Wayne, and Kanye West. Kanye West, one of the greatest songs ever, one of the greatest songs where he had the greatest verse. YOLO, the infamous Started from the Bottom, which is contradictory but catchy. Started from the bottom, started from the bottom, and then even now having even better songs today, and his epic verse on the very popular Young Money Bedrock song. Young Money Bedrock songs of Drake, one of the greatest rappers today, and one of the leaders of what I like to call Wayne and Tyga are the leaders of this new era of hip hop. I like to call the swag era, the leader of swag. That's what these guys are. Then you have one of the more talented and underrated members of Young Money, Gudda Gudda. Gudda. Love Gudda Gudda. I loved his infamous and hilarious voice on the Bedrock song where he was like, I love the way you're moving, if you're moving my way. I'm Gudda Gudda. I'll put it on ya. Grocery bags. I loved his verse. Tyga, and Drake and J Mills had the best verses on that had the best hip hop verses on that very awesome song. But I love Gudda Gudda. Love Gudda Gudda. He's still going strong today with with another rapper I think called Little Flap, where they're doing a retro 2000s style hip hop, 2000s updated 90s style hip hop thing. They're what you call it. I want Good and all these guys to get back together and do the Bedrock song one more time. That's gonna be hard because Tyga and Drake don't get along now. Then you can end it with J Mills. J Mills, don't have much to say about J Mills other than that. I thought he was one of the more underrated and more talented members of Young Money, just like Gudda. He had an awesome verse on the a very epic Bedrock song from 10 years ago, which the Bedrock song is the greatest team up Young Money song they ever produced. Then they have Every Girl in the World, which is okay, where they talk about making everyone. Then they have Roger That, which is one of their weaker songs. But then all their single stuff is great. But this was their best what you call it song with Lloyd. I don't remember his last name, but the popular singer Lloyd, who never blew up, but who was also, of course, like I said, these guys are leaders of swag and the most entertaining rappers today, and some of the most entertaining rappers alive. Probably pretty controversial putting Cash Money and Young Money on the same list with Tupac Shakur, Beastie Boys, and many more rappers you will see on this list. Number 6 is the Public Enemy, Flavor Flav and Chuck D, one of the greatest duos and rap groups of all time. I love these guys because these guys were the antithesis to gangster rap. The gangster rap at the time with their motivated, politically conscious rap. You have Chucky D with his booming radio voice, and you have Flavor Flav, one of the best hype man and a pretty decent rapper on his own, one of the greatest rap groups ever. I was introduced to these guys in the 2000s with a song called Bring the Noise. Bring the Noise, which is awesome. There's a remix of that song, Night of the Living Bassheads. Don't believe the hype. Fight the power. I hate Black Rally and Black Power songs and Black rallies, but Chuck D is so awesome. He could have me dancing with my fist in the air talking about fight the power. Um and of course harder than you think, harder than you think, which was for the 2007 Paralympics, man. Paralympics. These guys right here, some of the greatest rappers, one of the greatest rap groups of all time. And these guys in the 80s and 90s, these guys should have been the guys chosen to lead the brown American youth, man. Brown American youth. Brown American youth. Not Tupac Shakur and those gangster rappers who, in my opinion, they were a terrible. I love those guys, but they were a terrible influence on the Afro American youth. Afro American youth. Chuck D of Public Enemy was a much better influence, and he should have been the guy to lead them. One of the most exciting rappers, alive, and one of the most smartest and most intelligent men in hip hop. In hip hop too, man. Hip hop too. One of the greatest rappers ever, man. Some of the best rappers ever. I think they're even better than Tupac Shakur and the Outlaws. But their music didn't appeal to the mainstream. They were popular, but not that popular. They should have been more popular than what they were. 7 is Dr. Dre. Love Dr. Dre from his early career with the world class wrecking crew. I think that's what it's called, electronic wrecking crew. His G Funk era, all the way to his final days with Death Row, where he left and found his own label. Dr. Dre, so many awesome songs. He did so many awesome songs with the electronic crew and NWA. His diss song against Eazy-E, Dre Day, where Eazy-E responded with Real Compton G's and It's On, where in my opinion he fried him. I consider Dr. Dre to be the winner of the war, but Eazy-E won the battle, the diss war. But one of the main things, and then Dre's awesome Death Row career, where he collaborated with Shakur on California Love, which is one of the greatest songs and greatest music videos of all time, and one of the greatest time periods in music, that 1995-96 time period. But I also love Dr. Dre for being one of the many survivors from this era. One of the many guys from that era who was successful back then and still thriving today. And not only still thriving, but still alive today. Dr. Dre, he knowingly left Death Row, left all that money behind because he was sick of Suge Knight's thuggish and Death Row's thuggish reputation. He left all that stuff and started his own project, Aftermath, knowing he would make all that money back, and he did. He discovered Dr. Dre and I'm not Dr. Dre, but Eminem in Detroit, and he later established Dr. Dre Beats, which he's more known for the younger generation for that. And it even had another awesome single, Still Dre Day, still going strong. Still going strong today. I consider him one of the many survivors from that group, and one of the many survivors without selling out. So yeah, number 9, Naughty by Nature, Treach, and what's the other guy's name? Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I keep forgetting the other guy's name, but these guys right here are some of the best rappers of all time. Not as entertaining as Beastie Boys, Tupac, Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, or Entertainment, Cash Money Entertainment, but you got Treach, and what's the other guy? Oh yeah, Ben Rock, Ben Rock, and DJ KC. Vin Rock and Treach are my favorite members. These are the two members that come to mind when I think Naughty by Nature. I think Naughty by Nature. When I first heard about these guys, I mistook them for LL Cool J. They have a voice and rapping style similar to him. I think these guys are way better and way cooler than LL Cool J. LL Cool J. And these guys are some of the best and fastest rappers of all time. I can't even keep up with these guys. And they have awesome songs. You have Treach's "Till I Mourn You" song, a tribute to Tupac, his best friend Tupac Shakur when he died. Then you have which is a tribute to Tupac Shakur and Eazy-E. Then of course you got Queen. Then you got hip hop. Then you got the very popular hip hop, hooray, 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 and OPP and the OPP, which is their very first hit, and many more awesome songs. Like I said, I like gimmicky flying street based rappers. They were street, but they had a more positive they were street, but they had a more positive image than most of the so-called gangsta rappers at the time. And those rappers from and they're from New Jersey, but those rappers from that New York or New England era, that East Coast era, that East Coast era, those New York based rappers. I thought those guys and the good rappers from the ATL states, Southern rappers. I thought these guys were some of the best rappers of all. I think these guys are some of the best rappers of all time. The West Coast, Tupac Shakur's type of rappers are the most exciting and the most entertaining. So let's get back to this video right here. So yeah, Naughty by Nature, one of the greatest rap groups of all time. 10 is Tech Nine, one of the best rappers today and one of the best rappers in the underground scene. He would be much higher if he wasn't underground. He's one of the best rappers today. He's like Tupac. He's like underground Tupac Shakur. Eminem, and DMX, three of the toughest rappers in rapping. He is just as tough and hard as they were with his awesome songs like Riot Maker and Mental Giant. He can do the old school 90s and 80s bass rockin' rapping style. He can also do that fast paced rapping style similar to Eminem. One of the best rappers to date. One of the best rappers today. Not only the best in the underground, but he's underground, but one of the best today. Speaking of underground, 11, the RZA and the Wu-Tang Clan. The RZA and the Wu-Tang Clan, back in the 80s and 90s, they were mainstream. But when I came along, these guys, like Public Enemy in the 2000s, these guys were underground. I first discovered the Wu-Tang Clan with the RZA with his song "That's Fatal" from the Blade Trinity soundtrack. Then with RZA, I was introduced to the rest of the Wu-Tang Clan: Ghostface Killah, Method Man, Old Dirty Bastard, who died in 2004 of a drug overdose. Who else? Oh yeah, and Raekwon. These guys, awesome. First off, I love the street kung fu martial arts Hollywood gimmick. Like I said, I love gimmicky, fly, and street-based rappers. And these guys having a very cool martial arts Hollywood, Hong Kong cinema movie style theme and having so many cool names. They had so many awesome songs. I can't even remember them all. And they can also do they also do that very fast-paced rapping style, which will become hugely popular in the 2000s and 2010s. So yeah, RZA and the Wu-Tang Clan. 12, Eminem, widely considered one of the best white rappers of all time. Eminem is 12 because I have more appreciation for Eminem now than I did when I was a kid. When I was a kid in the early 2000s, in 2002, when he came out with that Slim Shady song, I thought that was the most corniest and cheesiest song I ever seen. Vanilla Ice and Hammer would not do something that cheesy when I do a music video on a song like that cheesy. And I thought this guy was whack and would never catch on. Then I heard some of his other songs like When I'm Gone, Die Mother Effer Die, And what's that other song called? Oh yeah, lose yourself, lose yourself, lose yourself, and lose yourself, not afraid. Then his voice, his verse on the Forever soundtrack. This is where I really started taking notice of little of Eminem and Eminem. Now I have more appreciation for him now for keeping the credibility of hip hop and keeping hip hop together in the 2000s, where hip hop was starting to become terrible. You had awesome people like Eminem around, but you also had a lot of terrible rappers. You had a lot of terrible rappers then, but Eminem was keeping it good in the 2000s when it was starting to become whack, and that's why Eminem is here at this place on the list. At this place on the at this place on the list. So yeah, hold on for a moment. Sorry, stop that. So yeah, Eminem, 13, as you can see by the picture here, is Oh, and before I continue with 13, and I consider Beastie Boys, Eminem, Vanilla Ice, and another rapper who will appear later in this group, House of Pain to be four of the greatest and my all-time favorite white rappers of all time. Of all time, Eminem is not as exciting as House of Pain, Vanilla Ice, and the Beastie Boys, but he kills them. But he kills them when it comes to rhymes and just raw, hardcore, fast-paced energy. 13, DMX, man. DMX and Ja Rule, in my opinion, were Tupac Shakur's of the 2000s. When Tupac Shakur died, these guys should have been given the title, should have been given his titles, and continued on in the 2000s. They were hugely popular, but they didn't last long, which is why DMX is down here. DMX is legal troubles, legal troubles, and being overshadowed by so many other rappers at the time, despite his popularity, is why he is 13, because he was truly the best in the 2000s. DMX actually goes even harder than Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur, he's tough. He's probably tougher and lived through an even tougher, harsher childhood than Tupac Shakur or any rapper that I've seen. So to see what he accomplished and triumphed in life, but his ongoing legal troubles, which still goes on today, is why he is here at 13. But DMX, one of the greatest rappers of all time, with awesome songs like "Gon' Give It to Ya," "We Gon' Give It to Ya," y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here. What's my name? DMX. What you really want? So many awesome songs. That killer voice, which is vastly similar to Tupac Shakur. It's a tougher and even harder version of Tupac Shakur. That killer booming voice, man. One of the toughest and most hardcore rappers around. Eminem, Tupac Shakur, and DMX are the toughest and most hardest rappers ever, man. Most hardest rappers ever, man. 14, 14, 15, and 16. These guys should have been one spot, but they're all different acts, so I put them on different spots. But 14, 15, and 16 are T.I., Ludacris, and Andre 3000, Outkast. Let's start off with T.I. T.I. A lot of the rappers from Georgia, the South, were absolutely terrible. Were absolutely terrible. T.I. was one of the most talented rappers to come out of Georgia, to come out of the South, with awesome songs like "You Don't Know" and "Bring 'Em Out, Bring 'Em Out." One thing I like about T.I., one of the most not as entertaining as the other, not as entertaining as the other he's not as entertaining as the other 13 the other 13 rappers on this list, especially the first 5, especially the first 6 rappers on this list, but he's on par with them lyrically. In my opinion, he's better than rappers like Shakur, Ice, and Hammer when it comes to lyricism and rhymes. one of the most clever lyricism and rhymers. He can rap and rhyme about anything, and make it sound good. I think trap music is one of the lamest and most retarded things ever. Ti did something. Ti did something with that. I think it's some of the greatest stuff ever. He's able to turn shit into gold. Whatever he's doing. Then not only is he doing great, not only is he one of the leading rappers today, still going strong today, but he's also doing good in movies. He's also doing good in movies, and it's just one of the best rappers ever. I briefly lost some respect for him. One of the main reasons he's 14 for coming at Lil Wayne for those Black Lives Matter comments and coming at Kanye West for supporting Donald Trump. But T.I., one of the greatest rappers, one of the greatest rappers of all time. One of the greatest rappers of all time, and the greatest rapper, one of the greatest rappers to come out of the South. 15, Ludacris, who's even bigger and probably even harder than T.I. Been a huge fan of Ludacris since Roll Out. Roll Out in the early 2000s. He used to annoy people and friends with the Roll Out song. That right there was an awesome song. One of the most funnest and coolest music videos ever. And T.I., Ludacris, rappers like these were keeping hip hop good in the 2000s, where it was starting to become terrible. Ludacris has had his stinkers with Lovers and Friends, which is soft bubblegum pop, R&B love song, Lovers and Friends. But he has awesome songs. He has his verse on Usher's Yeah song, his verse on Bobby Valentino's All Around the World, Women Around the World song, his verse on he has Move Step Back, I Don't Know You Like That, and Move B, Get Out the Way, and also A Place Called Home, one of his more dramatic songs, and Number One Spot, number one spot. He's a Southern ATL version of Tupac Shakur, and the rappers of the 90s. And he goes harder than those rappers of the 90s, even though I find those rappers from the 90s to be overall just more entertaining, which is why they're higher on this list than he is. Higher on this list than he is. And yeah, so that's Ludacris, one of the best rappers in the game today and one of the best of all time. 16 is, like I said, Andre 3000, Outkast. Love these guys. Love these guys. Keep forgetting the other one's name, but Andre 3000. They had the Hey Y'all, the hilarious Roses song. They're some of the funniest rappers ever. I don't think unintentionally funniest rappers ever. They have the Hey Y'all, the Roses song, and of course, what's another song? Roses. Oh yeah, and the So Fresh and Clean song. So Fresh and So Clean. Um, song. Then you got Andre 3000 with the Class of 3000, Class of 2006, 3000 animated sitcom where he recorded a lot of cool soundtracks there. Appeared in 2007. His final mainstream appearances were in 2007, appearing in a bunch of other songs by a bunch of other rappers, and is still going strong today. I like Andre 3000 because one thing I couldn't stand about the 2000s era of hip hop is that 2000 era hip hop, everyone was the same. Everyone was some street and gangsta based rappers. No more gimmicky, flamboyant musicians in this time period. Andre 3000, Outkast were one of the only ones during this time period. That's why there's 16 on this list. And in the 90s, they got no love. I saw the 1995 BET Awards, and they got booed off the stage, man. They got no love in the 90s. So I appreciate what they went through and and the work they've put in their career. And they're once again some of the best rappers ever. Some of the best rappers come out of the South, which Southern hip hop is usually terrible. So 17 is Bone Crusher. Love Bone Crusher. One of the most hardest and coolest rappers in the 2000s with that We Ain't Never Scared song and its remix featuring the debut of T.I. Forgot to talk about that when I was talking about T.I. But Bone Crusher. This guy right here was awesome. One of the main reasons he's 17 because he was a one-hit wonder. He did this awesome song and didn't do anything else. Then this hasn't been confirmed by anyone, but I heard in the comment section that the We Ain't Never Scared song, Bone Crusher stole it as his own, stole it as its own, but this song actually belonged to some other southern based rappers at the time. That's why it's number 17, but that hasn't been confirmed. I just heard that. 18 is another one hit wonder, um ATO, awesome rapper from the early 2000s, Archie Eversole, who did the popular song ATO song, We Ready. Come on, let's show them. We ready for y'all. I'm gonna show you who's the best. I'm gonna take you out the game, man. Oh, that awesome hardcore rockin' crunk rap style. This guy was awesome. It was hugely needed. Rappers like him were hugely needed in the early 2000s. But he did this song, and then for like 16 years, didn't do anything else until 2000, was it 2017 or 18, where he recorded a new hip hop song for the ATL Atlanta based soccer team. But Archie Eversole, one of the coolest rappers of all time, he's so low on this list because he didn't do anything. He didn't do much in the 2000s when he was needed, just like Bone Crusher. But an awesome rapper. 19 is House of Pain, man. Some of the coolest rappers ever, and some of the earliest white street rappers. And I love these guys. I love Everlast and House of Pain for their unique mixture of hip hop, rock and roll, blues, and country. And these guys were prototypical Eminem. Even Vanilla Ice would start adopting elements of their street-based gimmick later for his street grungy-based career. But yeah, I was introduced to House of Pain through professional wrestler Perry Saturn and the ECW Barely Legal pay-per-view. Barely Legal pay-per-view, man, and been a huge fan ever since. 20 is 20 is one of the guys who started hip hop in the 70s. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. These guys were awesome. They're 20 because I think rappers 1 through 19 kill Grandmaster Flash, but he started it all. I love the 70s and 80s for hip hop, but one thing I can't stand about that era, it's so prehistoric, man, when it comes to technology and beats, man. And most of the good beats from that time were stolen. So yeah, but Grandmaster Flash was awesome. That The Message song was one of the greatest songs I've ever heard. And so many rappers have quoted and used quotes and verses from that song. So and it was amazing seeing hip hop in the 70s, a mixture, this was a mixture of funk, blues, and jazz combined with hip hop. Had no idea hip hop was in the 70s. I thought that was in the 90s. I had no idea that was even in the 80s either until I saw how old some of these rappers were. Um, 21. 21. Digital Underground. Digital Underground. Not only were these guys a gimmicky fly street rap group, but these guys are best known for providing the debut of Tupac Shakur. It all started with that line from Shock G. Tupac, go ahead and rock this. Then Tupac starts rapping his verse on the same rap song. And from there, this guy, he's down low because he's kinda whack. He was cool in his era, but would be totally whack by today's standards. And even other widely considered rappers like Cash Money, Young Money Entertainment, Vanilla Ice, Hammer, and the Beastie Boys were never this whack. Were never this whack. Before I go to 22, let me go back to 8. I can't believe I skipped 8 despite looking at the list. Despite looking at this, after Dr. Dre, I immediately went to Naughty by Nature. But before Naughty by Nature, there was another cool rapper. There was another cool rapper I loved in the 90s, and that was Coolio. This guy right here is one of the best and most underrated rappers in the 90s, and this guy should have been the guy to lead, one of the many guys to lead hip hop after the death of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. But this guy right here in the 2000s went into the underground and was much older than those guys were. But Coolio, one of the greatest rappers ever. I was introduced to this guy in '96. He did the theme song for the Kenan and Kel sitcom, and he had a very awesome song called Fantastic Voyage. Fantastic Voyage, which I first heard in '96, but it's from 1994. Then his ever popular, this is still heard today. His ever popular Gangsta's Paradise, which was in the new Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. Love Gangsta's Paradise. Gangsta's Paradise. He has several more awesome songs, but these were his best songs right here. Best songs right here. Coolio reminds me of a more peaceful, fun time of the '90s in comparison to the violent time associated with Shakur, Notorious B.I.G., Eazy-E, and all the gangster rappers. He reminds me of a fun era of the '90s when I used to think '90s was this very awesome time, and it was very awesome and innocent time. But when I go back and look up a lot of these gangster rappers, especially the ones who were killed and gunned down, I see how this was not this peaceful, innocent based time period. Things were harder then than they are now. So that was what's that? That was Coolio. Now 22, 22, 23, and 24 rappers of today. These are the greatest rappers, greatest lyricism, and most creative rappers of today. That's J. Cole, Joey Badass, and Kendrick Lamar. Let's start off with my boy J. Cole. This guy is a modern day Jay-Z. In my opinion, he's better than Jay-Z. He was signed by Jay-Z at a young age. I don't remember his singles, but this guy's an awesome rapper. This guy's an awesome rapper. He's a throwback to the 90s and 2000 bass hip hop. So if the swag era of Wayne, Tyga, and Drake, if that doesn't appeal to you, this guy right here, is one of the best and leading rappers in rap now. He's even better than Wayne, Tyga, and Drake. And he's a throwback to the past and the hardcore 90s and 2000s street gangsta rap. J. Cole, I love his new look, unique boxing look with a t-shirt with imagery on him, trunks, and Adidas boxing shoes. No one has that look. Then you have 23, Joey Badass, who's even younger than my sister. I love his colorful dreads, and his awesome hardcore over the top hip hop lyrics. Like I said, just like J. Cole, a throwback to the 90s and 2000s. A way better and even cooler version of Snoop Dogg is Joey Badass. Hate Snoop Dogg. 24, Kendrick Lamar, widely considered the Tupac Shakur of the 2010s. I discovered this guy in 2014. Been a huge fan of him ever since. One of the best rappers in, one of the leading guys in rap today. When people say rap is dead, look up these guys right here, man. Rap is dead. Look up these guys. Far from it. There are a lot of terrible rappers, but there are a lot of good rappers too. I only stick to these guys and the Cash Money guys and the guys from the previous eras who are still active today. 25, Crep and Conan. They are a British UK hip hop group. I was introduced to these guys in the 2015 boxing movie Creed, where they performed the bad guys song "Shawty Don't Waste My Time." If she ain't fucking, she got to go. Shawty Don't Waste My Time. That song and that entrance was epic, and ever since then I've been a huge fan of these guys right here. These guys are like a modern day UK street naughty by nature and Public Enemy. These guys are some of the greatest rappers of today. Not as entertaining as some of the acts from the past, which is why they're down so low on this list. But lyricism, one of some of the greatest rappers ever, and I love UK hip hop. Yeah, before I get to 26, the last rappers on this list, let's do honorable mentions. Number 1 is Run DMC, some of the best and most influential rappers of all time. When the first Run DMC song I heard, King of Rock, one of the best rap songs ever. I thought these were two white guys. I was surprised to see that these were two brothers singing, "I am the king of rock. There is none sire. Please call me sire." Both the Run DMC members sounded like two white guys. I was surprised to see that it was two brothers performing that song. Performing that song. They're honorable mentions because as exciting as they are, as exciting as they are, most of their music is kind of boring and so-so. They have four great songs: "The King of Rock," "Rock This World," "It's Tricky," and their version of the Ghostbusters rap song. So yeah, but one of the best and most influential rap groups of all time. Number two, another New York based rapper, and that's the Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls. In my opinion, one of the best lyricists in hip hop. His wordplay and lyricism is some of the best I've ever seen. He kills Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur is way better and more entertaining, has way better songs, but Notorious B.I.G. when it comes to lyricism kills him. The Notorious B.I.G. is here not only because of his death at the young age of 24, but also because most of his music is not as appealing as it was when I was a child. Most of his music is fictitious gangster stuff, party and BS and playa stuff. With party and BS also being the name of one of his That's why he's kind of honorable mention. And him, Notorious B.I.G., Tupac Shakur, and Easy E, the next guy on this list, their deaths are everything wrong with the 90s, man. With the 90s. Black people killing each other, and then Notorious B.I.G. First of all, um, going to school, getting good grades, doing the right thing, but then becoming influenced by hip hop and the gangsta rap scene, dropping out of school, dealing drugs, dealing drugs, and from there on in, this is where he blew up. And this is also pretty much where he signed his death certificate at rap shows, having gangsters be bodyguards instead of security officers, and police officers be his bodyguards. Like I said, that's why he's honorable mention. Number three is Easy E, man. One of the Godfather of gangster rap, the Godfather of gangster rap, and one of the best rappers ever. I love his early stuff in the '80s with NWA, NWA. I love his authenticity and his realist, the most realistic gangsta in hip hop. That's his thing, and his unique style of dress. With this is not a good look for me, but this was a great look for him. The Compton hat, the shades, and the flannel, put on like the button up flannel put on like a cape. Then his second attire, the working class prison attire. Then his third attire, the baggy jumpsuit, the baggy jumping track suit everyone had at the time. The realest gangsta in hip hop, and I love his over the top lyrics, his mixture of gangster rap and G funk, which he actually criticized, calling these guys studio gangsters, rappers who start off doing dance music, but then try to come into the studio and become hard studio gangsters. He was kind of doing that, and I love G funk, which is what it's called, G funk, gangster rap mixed with dance music. Um, um, Number four, so yeah, Easy E, and right, right when his career was taking off. I love his early career with NWA, but I love his singles career where he teamed up with rappers 4 and 5, BCC Knockout, and the Drayster, Real Gangsters. Real Gangsters. He fit in better with these guys than he did with NWA because he was one of the only real actual gangsters in the actual NWA group. The other people rapped about what they saw on the street, but they didn't do any of the stuff that was talked about in the songs. So yeah, right when his career was really taking off, he died at the young age of 30. At first it was thought it was 31, but it turns out he was born in 1964. His tombstone says 1963, but he died of AIDS, and that's why he's here in honorable mentions. Despite honorable mentions, stop with the lethal injection storylines and conspiracy theories. Easy E died because of a reckless party lifestyle consisting of drugs and sex with multiple women. That's why he's not here right now. That's why he's right. That's why he's honorable mentions on this list. But one of the greatest rappers ever, and he's also like the Michael Jackson of gangster rap. Sounds just like Michael Jackson. People from that Los Angeles, California era sound just like Eazy-E and Michael Jackson. Number four, BCC, BCC, BCC Knockout, even tougher and more harder than Easy E. He's on this list because this guy could have been one of the best rappers ever, one of the best rappers ever, but got in trouble with the law in 1998 by trying to intentionally murder for attempting to murder someone and got what 6 years in prison and got 8 years in prison. Stayed and pretty much spent almost the first half and quarter of the 2000s in prison. Got out in 2006 and is now a Muslim now. And I think he's still rapping today, but this guy could have been the best ever, but ruined his career by doing stupid gangsta stuff. BCC Knockout, but this guy's awesome. This guy's an even tougher and harder version of Easy E. Just like Easy E, this guy was a real gangster gang member at youth, as was his I think his brother and gang mate, the Dresta. The Dresta. This guy the um wrote the lyrics for Easy E's Real Compton G's songs, and also wrote his verse on the song, which was one of the more harder, which him and BC Knockouts were the hardest verses on the songs. They fried Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre on that Real Compton G's soundtrack. But this guy, his toughness, his authenticity, the most realest gangster you'll ever see. But he's also here because he could have been the best rapper ever. He could have been the best rapper ever. But once again, his career cut short by doing stupid stuff. He got arrested for assaulting another gangster with a baseball bat. And he what else did he do? I also heard that he did something with a kid. I don't know much more about that. But that's why he's here at the honorable mentions, despite how awesome he was. Number 6 is the rest of the NWA. Ice Cube, DJ Yella, Arabian Prince, and MC Ren with DJ Yella, DJ Yella, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre and the late Easy E being my all-time favorite members from NWA. But I love all the people. They're honorable mentions. They're honorable mentions here because I love their rap group, but they're not as entertaining as some of the other rap groups from that time period and today. And I like these guys better as single solo rappers than as a team. But as a team, um, these guys were awesome. Ice Cube, I like Ice Cube's a phenomenal rapper. These guys, when I was introduced to these guys, all of these guys introduces me to a different version of gangster rap that I was accustomed to. See, I grew up in the 2000s, late 90s and 2000s. It was all about this crunk BS, jumping up and down, yelling, and saying the same thing over and over again, saying the same thing over and over again, and just acting crazy like a bunch of mongoloids. These guys have a more artistic. These guys introduced me to a more artistic version of gangster rap. It's filth, it's drugs, sex, and nudity and all that stuff, but it's artistic, creative lyrics and wordplay, and that's what these guys introduced me to. I love Ice Cube as a rapper, like him better as an actor. He was so awesome in Boys in the Hood, and the Friday trilogy. I still gotta watch Higher Learning. I haven't seen Are We There Yet, or what's another film called the Ride Along series with Kevin Hart. You got DJ Yella, my being the coolest member of the group. You got MC Ren, the most street guy. You got MC Ren and Arabian Prince of the group. Arabian Prince, who was cut from the Straight Out of Compton film, where they gave his role to Ice Cube in that film, where he went up to Jerry Heller about the royalties, but that actually belonged to this guy right here. And he did a video with DJ Ladd, Devi Ladd, something like that. The interviewing group here on YouTube talking about that. So yeah, and then of course yeah. So these were the rappers of that great. Then number 7, Afro Man. Afro Man, an awesome underground rapper and one of the best of the 2000s. One of the main reasons why he is here he is here in this list. He was underground when he should have been mainstream because there were a lot of whack rappers, which is one of the main reasons I like him. He has a couple of comedy songs. The one most notable being "Because I Got High," "Because I Got High" song, which I remember from the early 2000s, and his hilarious whack rapper song attacking all terrible rappers from 2003, 2003. But he was underground. He should have been mainstream. That's why he's here on honorable mentions. Number 8, Big L, one of the greatest rappers and lyricists ever, and the pioneer of horror rap. Big L, this guy was awesome, man. This guy was awesome with songs like Putting It On and many more and many more. This guy died way too young, right before he was gonna blow up. It would have been one of the biggest rappers of the 2000s, but he got killed in a drive-by in late '99, even younger than Shakur and Biggie. 9, Randy Stretch Walker. Randy Stretch Walker. Um, Randy Stretch Walker of the group Live Squad. He was a rapper and producer from the late '80s, early '90s, and collaborated with Shakur and Biggie Smalls partnership, before his friendship and partnership with Shakur deteriorated after Shakur's robbery. He was the first of the three to be murdered. First Randy in '95, Shakur in September of '96, and Biggie in '97. But this guy was an awesome prototypical Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes, and I thought he was better than Busta Rhymes. It would have been one of the best rappers of the '90s and 2000s had it not been for his death. He's honorable mentions here because not only was he killed young, he was killed doing something stupid. He ripped off a bunch of drugs. He ripped off a bunch of drugs from someone, and they killed him in retaliation. 10, Warren G and Nate Dogg, some of the greatest rappers in the 90s. They had one of the greatest rap songs ever, Regulate. Regulate, where they performed as a duo. Nate Dogg as of 2011 is now deceased, but Warren G is still alive. These guys are honorable mentions because these guys are stereotypical 90s gangsta rappers, and in my opinion, they would not fly or sell today. But that song Regulate was one of the greatest songs ever. 11, Sir Mix-a-Lot. This guy's honorable mentions. I love this guy. This guy's honorable mentions because I often confuse this guy with MC Hammer due to their similar rapping style and voices. But I love this guy for his Big Butt song. That's another reason why he's here in the honorable mentions. No guy with a rap song about butts, is gonna have a number on this list right here. But yeah, Sir Mix-a-Lot, one of the greatest rappers, one of the greatest and most hilarious rappers of the '90s. I love that she got big butts. I like big butts and I can't lie. You know the butts can't deny. I love that song and I laugh every time I hear it. Hear that song. Next is Partners in Crime. Uh, another MC Hammer, another couple of MC Hammer clones. MC Hammer, who has a soundtrack on the 1980s TMNT live action film, he has a soundtrack called "This Is What We Do." But Partners in Crime, they did the popular Turtle Power song. I thought that was MC Hammer. I always thought that was MC Hammer, but it turns out it was these guys. And these guys were a phenomenal '90s rap group. But they did one song. They did one song they did one song. They did one song. They did one song. One song, and for 26 years did not do anything else until the release of the second Ninja Turtles movie, Out of the Shadows. They did a remix of their Turtle Power song for that movie. That's already here in honorable mentions. 12 is Fresh Prince, Will Smith, and DJ Jazz. Some of the greatest rappers of the 80s and 90s. But I like these guys better as actors than I do rappers, but they were phenomenal rappers, man. 13, Too Short. Too Short, Too Short, he has to be somewhere on this list because he's one of the earliest pioneers in West Coast hip hop. It was pretty entertaining himself with songs like "You Stank," which will be hilariously remixed in the 2000s by some, I think a rapper. I think his name is Lil Scrappy. I don't know. and of course the hugely popular "So You Wanna Be a Gangsta," which appears in the 1991 movie Juice. Love Too Short, man, but he's not as entertaining as a lot of the other rappers on this list. That's why he's here in honorable mentions. 14, LL Cool J. I've always loved LL Cool J for the "Mama Said Knock You Out" song, but apart from that, he's widely considered one of the best in hip hop. But my opinion, he's always been overrated to me. But I like LL Cool J. That's why he's here in honorable mentions. 15, Ice T, one of the other early pioneers in gangster rap. Despite being one of the early pioneers, this guy wasn't all that great in my opinion. But I loved Ice T, an awesome rapper. I love the Colors song. He also had a memorable performance and entrance at WrestleMania. What was it? WrestleMania 16, 2000. 16 is Nas. Nas, one of the greatest rappers of all time. He's here just because I pretty much forgot about him when I was listing all these other rappers. But was one of the greatest rappers in the 90s and 2000s. Also, his financial troubles later landed him here. 17 is Jay Z. Love Jay Z. Despite his notoriety in the hip hop game, apart from 99 Problems and a collab with Linkin Park, this guy didn't really did much for me, but I've always been a huge fan of Jay Z. 18, Ja Rule, Tupac of the 2000s. Tupac of the 2000s. As much as I love this guy, he was a Tupac wannabe. He was a Tupac wannabe. Had a look like him, had a voice like him. Even had a record label, Murder Inc., which is a was vastly similar to Tupac's Death Row. Tupac and Suge Knight's Death Row of the 90s, and he ruined his career by coming at Eminem and 50 Cent, who straight up destroyed his career. And it sucks his career got ruined because awesome rappers like him, he was one of the best in the 2000s. Rappers like him were needed because 2000s there were a lot of terrible rappers in the 2000s, a lot of terrible whack rappers in the 90s and 2000s, late 90s and 2000s. 19, Little Romeo. Been a huge fan of Little Romeo. I was a closet fan, Little Romeo. Nobody took this guy seriously. And nobody cared about his album. But I was a huge fan of Little Romeo. I love It Takes Two. It Takes Two. Romeo, Give Me a Chance. Parents Just Don't Understand, which is a Will Smith, which is a Fresh Prince Will Smith song. And the this song aimed at Bow Wow, whom I can't stand. You Can't Shine Like Me with Little Zane and the other Little Wayne guy, Little Wayne lookalike guy, which was awesome and still goes hard to this day. 20, Akon, phenomenal rapper and one of the best of the 2000s. He's here in the honorable mentions because of so many other awesome rappers and because I think he's a better singer than rapper. 21, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr., one of the best rappers of the 2000s. He's here because he was only really doing this part time, but he's one of the best of the 2000s, and that "Can't Be Touched" song is one of the best of the 2000s. I use it in all my boxing videos. 22, Shaq. 22, Shaq. Um, Shaq. This guy, I thought his rap career was better than his other projects. He got involved, his other laughably bad projects he got involved in the 90s besides his basketball career. But that was only part time. 23, 3 6 Mafia, one of the greatest rap groups of the 2000s. They're here in honorable mentions because there's so many other rap groups more exciting than them. But I love their "It's a Fight," and they perform the very awesome "Somebody Go Get It" song. WWE superstar Mark Henry's theme. 24, Charlemagne, who had an awesome song called "Riding Dirty," and the legendary par- parody comedy musician Weird Al Yankovic did a parody of this song called "White and Nerdy." White and Nerdy. 25, Slick the Shocker, Slick 25, Slick the Shocker of the No Limit Soldiers rap group. I love Slick the Shocker. Love Slick the Shocker. Widely considered one of the worst rappers of all time. However, I loved him. He was the most charismatic rapper in the No Limit Soldier stable. No Limit Soldier stable and group. Then 26 is the No Limit Soldiers themselves. Master P, Mystical, and the rest of the group. These are the three I remember the most from the No Limit Soldiers. No Limit Soldiers. I like Mystical, but I can't understand a word he be saying. That's why he's here in the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, and I consider, and as much as I love Master P and No Limit Soldiers, I consider these guys to be the beginning of the death of hip hop with their hefty, loud, no flow gimmick. They started that crunk BS, yelling and just saying a bunch of stuff like a bunch of mongoloids and idiots and just making Southerners look terrible in comparison. But their stuff still is entertaining and goes hard to this day. My favorite Mystical song is Danger. 27. 27. Nelly. I love Nelly, but his music is embarrassing. And his best rap song is not even a rap song. It's Over and Over Again with country singer Tex McGraw. Tex McGraw. 28 is Chingy. The Chingy had the laughingly bad but hilariously entertaining and catchy Right There song with the remix being even better. With the remix being even better. That's why he's here. 29, Trinidad James. I love Trinidad James. All Gold on Everything is one of the greatest songs in the modern era. And I love the parody of that song, All Rose on Everything, which has a big fat guy rapping about eating and stuff with the same beat. Same beat. So yeah, All Gold on Everything. Then he did a cool remix with T.I., Young Jeezy and 2 Chainz. But Trinidad James is here in the honorable mentions because his whole mainstream career lasted for only 3 years. He rose to popularity in 2012, and 3 years later, in 2015, was dropped from his label. So that's why he's here. 30, T-Pain. I think T-Pain is a better singer than rapper, but he kind of helped hip hop by popularizing the auto tune. Now every rapper has to sound like a robot today. Today. That's why he's here in the honorable mentions. But I love T-Pain with I Sprung, Snap Your Fingers, Buy a Drink, Buy a Drink, Buy a Drink. Um, and that other song where he talks about if your woman's lost, she's gonna be found. I keep forgetting what it's called. Um, but yeah, I love T-Pain. 31, C Murder. The talent of No Limit Soldiers. The most talented member of No Limit Soldiers. Career cut short by shooting a 13-year-old and is now in the Louisiana State Prison. And him and his brother Master P have constantly called for a retrial. Not much is known about that incident, but he's in jail for life. But this guy was awesome. Has the awesome "It's like a jungle sometime," which is a quote from um, Grandmaster Flash's The Message song, and he does the Wolfpack. He does the NWO Wolfpack theme from WCW Professional, the NWO stable from WCW Professional Wrestling. One of the greatest rappers ever. Sucks his career was cut short by killing kids. And 32 is Disney-based rapper. Um, Adam Hicks did an awesome song about It's Gonna Be Hot Here. This guy's awesome. It's like a Disney version of Eminem. But that's why he's here in honorable mention. He's a Disney version of Eminem. 33 is my boy. I consider him a better singer than rapper, but an awesome rapper in his own right. Aaron Carter. Aaron Carter, Justin Bieber of his time. I used to bump this guy all the time back in the early 2000s. I still consider his song Leave It to Me and Jimmy Neutron to still go hard today, man. Still go hard today, man. So yeah, those were the honorable mentions. Now for the final rap group on this list. As you can see, these guys were not this rap group was not going to be included. That was until I saw the woman. That was until I saw. That was until I learned that they were both pop and rap, and that is of course Snap. That's of course Snap. They weren't going to be on this list. That was until I looked it up. The song I Got the Power, the very popular song, which is the anthem of my childhood. First heard that song in '96, been a huge fan ever since. It's been popular since 1990 because it was in the debut episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But that song right there, I always thought that was a pop song. But the woman in that song, she sings, but the man, Turbo B, rapper Turbo B, is a rapper. He has that cool '90s rockin' rap style and booming radio voice that I love so much. Love so much. They're last because you can only enjoy them if you were in the '90s. They would be cheesy and terrible by today's standards. They wouldn't sell or fly today unless you like '90s stuff. '90s stuff. That's why they're last. But Snap or Turbo B is last on Doug's favorite and best rappers list of all times. Well, this was my favorite and best rappers list. Once again, this was my favorite and best rappers list. These are rappers I consider my favorites and the best. In the future, there will be a best rappers list where you'll have rappers I don't even listen to, care about, or don't even like, and some that I do like in the future. My worst rappers list and favorite rock musicians is coming up next. If you don't want to hear the rest of the song, turn the video off right now.